So it has come to my attention that I never actually did an introduction video. I never actually told you guys what this channel is all about, what it is that I will be showing you, what content, because I've always wanted to keep it broad. I didn't want to select a niche because I always knew that I might end up liking something else or something like that. But, well, when I started, when I first had idea of a YouTube channel, I wanted to produce content related to personal development. I wanted to create content related to podcasts with business people, podcasts with people in the business industries, podcasts with entrepreneurs who have made it, because I wanted to learn from them and also share my findings with you. I wanted to have podcasts with youth, like addressing certain issues. There are issues that must be addressed. We are the generation of tomorrow, we are the future. So we have to address certain issues, right? So yeah, that was it. And that is still it. Nothing has changed. So I have decided to be a little bit more specific about what it is that I want to produce on this channel. So stick around. Well, the first thing about personal development, I chose personal development because, you know, I have seen personal development coaches, who have their YouTube channels. I've seen them grow as they coach. I've seen them grow step by step, as they'll be posting. You see that this person is growing, it's working, right? It was not the lessons that I actually, I did learn, but I noticed that there was growth when they were coaching, they were growing themselves. So I was like, I could follow their tips in silence, or I could do the same and preach it out loud. And so I thought of doing it. Now I'm doing it. And then it's a way of recording, my progress. I think, yeah, it is. I'll be recording my progress. And then one day I'll be able to look back at where I came from and see how far I would have come, how far I would have gone. Yeah, exactly. And also, I've always been a speaker. I like speaking. I like speaking. So, yeah, I guess I always wanted to, to be behind the camera talking. So I just thought, why not personal development? Right. Yeah. And the other thing, is that I was at a point in time where I felt that I had to grow. I felt the need to grow. So I thought personal development, what is personal development, by the way? We've been talking about this thing called personal development again and again and again. So why not just look into it briefly? So as I was saying, personal development is the process of realizing capabilities, unleashing potential, achievement. So yeah, personal development people, one of the niche that I'm going to be looking into. Let's grow together, right? And then, yeah, but then personal development can be important for other reasons, such as you become more self-aware of your own strength, weaknesses, etc. And then we'll look deeper into that. And then it is also important for it to help in confidence, building of confidence, help in fulfillment of purposes. It helps in achieving goals. It helps in improved relationship with your co-workers, colleagues, family, improved relationships. And also personal development helps in forming great resilience, which I believe I have, you know, great resilience, which is the capacity to withdraw or recover quickly from difficulties, the capacity to stand back up after facing difficulties you get. So there are a lot of reasons why you might want to consider looking into personal development. There are a lot of important reasons why as a person you ought to improve yourself, you ought to develop yourself and venture into personal development. And the other thing that I was talking about was podcasts with business people, right? Podcasts with entrepreneurs. Yeah. So I am going to be providing new did I just do that? I did. Okay, so I'm going to be providing new content with you know entrepreneurs, business people, where they'll be sharing their success journeys, how they grew, the difficulties they faced, strategies they used, tips on growth. Business people, you might want to stick around. I'll be having podcasts with, you know, even people who are just related to the business industry, people who actively participate in the industry, right? So yeah, I'll be providing that. So stick around. Well, I do not know how I'm going to convince them. Well, I can be pretty convincing. I mean, I am convincing. I can actually convince them. And I usually tell my friend, I'm just going to walk up to them, be like, can we do a podcast? Can we please do a podcast together? So yeah, I'm going to be providing you with such podcast. Well, I always tell my friend that whenever you want to do something, you just have to do it. You have to just do it. Just shoot your shot. So this year, I will just aim at what I want. I'm going to go after, the most successful person in India and ask for a podcast before the year end, and I'm going to provide it for you. Call me Delulu. Well, let's say top 10 successful. Call me Delulu, call me what, but it's not being Delulu, but then sometimes being Delulu is also Lulu, so I don't know. But then it's called optimism. I'm optimistic. So yeah, and then there's this person called Mr. Raj Shaman. Yeah, Mr. Raj Sharma. Wow. You should go out and watch his podcast. Very interesting. He's quite good. He is good. I've seen, his videos. I've seen his podcasts. Well, it would be an honor for me to have a podcast with him one day. I will have one podcast with him one day. It's a promise. I do not know how it is that I'm going to contact Mr. Raj, but then Mr. Raj, I'm coming for you. So stick around, business people, because that man is quite wise. Yeah, and the other thing is I'm going to be having podcast with youth, right? As I promised, we are the future of tomorrow. We are already the future. I do not know how to say that, but I'm going to be having a podcast with youth, and we'll be discussing certain topics. We'll be addressing certain questions that most of you guys have, and you're free to inbox me, with certain questions that you feel that we need to discuss as youth, certain issues that you feel that they should be addressed, before they escalate. I have some now provide with the podcast. So we have to, look into certain issues. We have to, yeah. So stick around. We have questions. You have questions. I have questions. And on this page, we shall address them. We'll talk about it. You have an issue? Call Britta Banzi. She will help you talk about it. And then, so stick around for more content, more podcasts. they are coming. You should stick around for more podcasts with business people, big business people. Yeah, I'll provide you with like this. Yeah, you should stick around for personal development tips. Stick around, watch me grow. Take some tips for yourself. Learn something, grow. And yeah. This thing about podcasts with business people, successful people, entrepreneurs, or people in the business industry is not restricted to people who are in the business industries. It's so broad. As you know, of course, we discuss about management. And management is a very broad thing. It applies to all people who are in the medical field, people who are in the engineering field, people who are into agriculture. You know, it's for everyone. It is for everyone. So stick around. Management is quite broad. So, guys, I'm promising you consistent content, more content I'll be posting consistently. We'll be diving into personal development, podcast entrepreneurs, podcast with youth. Very soon I'll be posting consistently. So stick around for more content. And please show some love by liking the video, subscribing, and sharing. Please subscribe. Please like and please comment. Do you have a topic which you feel has to be discussed or you have a question? Feel free to comment section is for you.